Episode 32 of the MicroMuse is now live, and today I am talking about why I do stand-up comedy. Because in the last 3 days, I have been asked 3 separate times about this, and so I thought I would do a little video on it. Hi, welcome to the Moxie Books MicroMuse. So why do I do stand-up comedy? Because most people think that's a terrifying thing to do. And they're not wrong. It can be absolutely terrifying. But I do stand up, I think, for the same reason that I write and for the same reason that I teach other people to write their books and help other people to get their books and out there and tell their stories. And I was talking to somebody earlier, two people earlier actually, about this. I was asked this question on a podcast, and Sophie Lee asked me this question on Monday evening during her Beyond Palatable book launch marathon, which was amazing. And it got me to thinking about it. And it's like people say, oh, you're really brave. You're really brave to get up there on a stage and do stand-up comedy. And yes, like it is a brave thing to do for sure. And also it is, for me, less terrifying than socializing. And so there's kind of two reasons that I wanted to talk about stand-up comedy today, because the first one is this is this alternative to socializing, I guess, because I always feel like an alien in a skin suit. I always feel like I'm super awkward, super socially awkward, and people tell me, oh no, you're not, you're great. I'm not. You don't see what's going on behind the facade, behind the really carefully constructed human skin that I have put on to be able to make it through a social gathering. And it's not that I don't enjoy them. Sometimes I do. Like, I love meeting new people. I love getting to know new people. I love talking to new people. But a room full of people is extremely overwhelming and exhausting for me. And I really struggle with all sorts of things. And if you come and see my stand-up set, you will understand why, because that is literally my stand-up set. My current one at the moment is This Is What. Come in and see. And so it got me thinking about why is event. Giga clear. My internet is bullshit at the moment. Anyway, so like it got me thinking about why why stand-up comedy is less terrifying to me than socializing. And I think it's because one of the reasons is that if I go up and stand on a stage in front of a room full of people and try and make them laugh, everybody is like, oh my God, that's such a brave thing to do. And if I fail, nobody's really going to judge me for it. They're just going to be like, oh, I want you to do really well. Oh, that's a shame. She didn't quite have everybody with that joke. But how brave is she anyway? Look, she's up there. She's doing the thing. And so if I fail at doing something like that, something big and scary, it's okay. Nothing terrible is probably going to happen to me. But with socializing, I feel like I failed before I even walk in the door, because I know that at some point I'm probably going to fuck up. Even if it's not noticeable to everybody else, it's like I will say something or do something. I will realize that people are stepping back, because people can tell. Like, when you are different, people can tell. I'm autistic. And it's something that has always happened to me. Like, I used to eat my lunch in the library every day and read the unsolved mystery books. I was always on the outskirts of everything. And sometimes I put myself there. Like, I can look back at that and be like, I put myself there because it was too scary to join in. And sometimes I was put there by others, as children and as an adult. And it's usually not deliberate. Like, people don't usually exclude you deliberately, but people know when there's something different about you. They can tell. And sometimes that pulls people towards you. Like, I found the most amazing people. But often it doesn't. Often it pushes you away. And so what I wanted to do with my stand-up, because like I say, I feel like I'm if I fail in a social situation, I am going to get judged for that. I do get judged for that. I have been judged for that, and I will continue to be judged for that, because people are going to people. But if I'm on a stage, it's kind of fine. Like if I screw up, it's kind of fine. And so that's part of the reason I do stand up, I think, because it gives me an opportunity to connect with people on my terms, where there are rules that I understand, where I get to say what I want to say without being flustered and having to flap in my head about, am I making the appropriate amount of eye contact? Am I doing anything weird with my hands? Is my face moving enough? Is my voice really boring? Like all of that stuff that fills my head and gets in the way of me having conversations and connecting with people in social situations. And so for me, stand up is a way of doing that. But the other reason I do it is because, there is making a whole room full of people laugh at you is a real rush. Like it's a real power trip, and I really enjoy it. It's really good fun. But the moments that have stuck with me the most and made the biggest impact, and this has happened after every single one of my stand-up gigs. Somebody has come up to me afterwards and said quietly, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing that, because I feel less alone now. I feel less like a freak. I feel less like a weirdo." And at one of my most recent gigs, somebody came up and had a chat with me afterwards and was like, "I feel like I understand my partner better now, and I feel like our relationship is going to be better because of you." And that was like properly a magical moment, because that is ultimately what I'm doing as a stand-up comedian. It's what all stand-up comedians want to do, I think. It's what all humans want to do. And it's what I want to do with my writing. And it's what I want to help other people do with their writing and with their books, is to make a connection with somebody else and say, this is the way I move through the world. This is how I see the world. This is how the world affects me. How does it affect you? And it's the start of a conversation that can become something really beautiful. And it's the start of something that can make people feel really seen. And that is what a book can do for you as well. That is the power of using your voice. And if you can tell your story, if you can find the courage and the will to tell form. Obviously, I'm going to shill for books, because books are magical for a variety of really true and important reasons. But if you can use your voice to start a conversation with somebody who, maybe hasn't looked at the world that way before, maybe might appear to be on a different side of the political spectrum to you, maybe, somebody who on the surface you might disagree with, it allows you to make that human connection and find that common ground. And that is a really magical thing to do. And it's a really important thing to do, especially now when we are being actively divided from each other. And writing and books is a way to do that. Stand-up comedy is a way to do that as well, because if you can make a room full of people who may disagree politically laugh at the same thing, how incredible is that? Because that's the beginning of a conversation. That is a point of commonality that you can build on. And all of it comes back to, if we can tell our stories offline in a room full of people for stand up in the format of a book, which is offline, then we're not controlled by the abuse ring running the world. We're not controlled by those algorithms. And we're not distorted by them, because social media distorts everything. Like, the world isn't how it seems on social media. If you go and talk to real people in the street, they're just like you. They're just trying to get on with their lives. And what radicalizes with is, I think, it's what we need. And yeah, that's why I do stand-up comedy, and that's why I wanted to share that. And I'm going to be talking about it a lot more, I think, because I think it's important. I think it's an important message. If we can make that connection with people and show them, this is how I see the world, how do you see it, then we can start to understand each other. And I don't think it's ever been more important for us to do that than right now. So thank you for joining me for this MicroMuse and my wonky hair. I don't know what's happened to it today. And yeah, so I also had a couple of messages from people asking about Microbook Magic, because I'm about to launch season 8 of Microbook Magic. So if you're thinking, I want to connect with people, I want to tell my story, I want to show people how I see the world, maybe this is your perfect opportunity. In the week that my beautiful client Sophie Sophie's book has come out, which is so exciting. This is a book that's going to change the world. This is a movement that is so exciting. If you want to start your own movement, if you want to create something magical, then maybe Microbook Magic is the place to do it. We're starting at the end of April. I pushed it back a little bit for reasons. So we're starting at the end of April. Drop me a DM if you're interested. I've already got a waiting list of people, so spots available. I never have more than 10 people because I want to give people plenty of attention. And we're starting at the end of April. So I'll drop the link below. You can drop me a line if you want to know more. But your 5-minute takeaway for today is that I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes. You have got time for this. Everybody has got time for this. Set a timer for 5 minutes and write about something that you want somebody to understand about you. Something that maybe you felt misunderstood, or something that you're really passionate about, or something that you're really nerdy about. Write for 5 minutes about it. Like, tell us how you see the world, show us how you see the world, and then share it, and then tag me, please, because I want to see how you see the world. And I think this is the way that we start to change it. Thank you so much. If you would like more from me, you can follow me on here, OBS, and connect with me. But best of all, I would like you to subscribe to my email list, please. moxiebooks.co.uk/freebies, or just go to the homepage. You can join my mailing list, and yeah, let's change things. Let's fuck shit up. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.